Hey guys, it's your boy Kishiwishi back at it again with another video. How's it going? Yeah, how'd you do with your exams this week? I know it's about to be the end of May, you know, finals and shit probably coming up, or they already passed for you. I wouldn't know. I haven't been in school for like the last 2 years. I graduated high school about excuse me again, about 6 years ago. So you know, the public school system, I don't know you guys' schedule anymore. I don't have kids of my own. Okay, now that we got the filler part out. Hey, so today we're gonna talk about how I don't know why I keep stuttering like this when I start these videos. But the job market's a really weird place. Like it's one of those mostly spoken topics that comes from very, very different sides. I know what I just said sound like a whole bunch of nothing burger, but the whole discourse, that's the word I wanted to use. The whole discourse about the job market, it's like one person, can't find a job and they're like overly qualified. Meanwhile, you have another person who always has a job and isn't qualified. Don't point to me to say which camp I'm in. Cause I just acquired another job just now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I promise I'm competent. I'm a very competent individual. But some of us aren't as competent as other individuals. Today we're going to talk about how certain places will just hire just about anybody, but at the same time won't hire anybody. Because you as a young individual, let's say you're around the age of 22, you're actively in college getting your degree in bumfucksalology. You're gonna make so much fucking money with your degree, right? So you go and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a job at Starbucks. I'm in that early 18 to 24 age range where people usually pull up to Starbucks with their Medusa tattoos and nose piercings with rainbow colored hair, going in for a job. But then you go there and you're like, they look at you up and down and they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll hire you. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. It was so hard for me to get a job because, I applied to Dunkin', the fucking cafecito place around the corner, the horchata, everywhere, boba, whatever the fuck. You're just hired to you get hired to a job and you realize you are not that special as an individual. You are midwit at best, or not to talk anyone down, but you being completely honest to yourself. You're not no fucking Stephen Hawking, but you also know you can multiply numbers up to the digits of, almost said digits of 6, the multiples of 6. If you can multiply in 6 digits, like, motherfucker, you need to go to Harvard and become a mathematician. Send a motherfucker to Jupiter, right? Thank you. But you look at your coworkers and you're just like, holy shit, I was trying so hard, day and night, putting in applications, applied to 70 different Starbuckses, and I just landed this one. And you look around at your peers and you're like, holy shit, these people are fucking retarded. And I feel like this is a shared experience with a lot of people, especially people that are like semi neurodivergent, or like people that were quote unquote gifted kids growing up, but then they become an adult and it's like, oh, where did all my gifts go? I thought me being good at math was gonna secure me a CEO position, right, mom? Right? All them nights of me reading freaking fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson books, his little I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. But like, oh mom, you made me read the entirety of the Harry Potter series in the span of a week because you thought that J.K. Rowling was the greatest author of our time. And now I'm struggling putting in job applications with another person who is 17 and in high school having the same qualifications for said job. Like, well, what the fuck is up with that? And I have a very, very close experience, an experience near and dear to my heart of working a job with incompetent coworkers. And no, for those of you who follow me over on Instagram, I'm not talking about the one that I just left, even though fuck them niggas. Like, that job was so incompetent they couldn't even pay everyone their proper wages, you know? Like, yeah, where did the tips go? Haha. I can't count past 10. But yeah, back in 2019, I've told stories about this job before. AMC, I used to work at AMC theaters, and yeah, the video should still be up on my channel, like all the way back then when I was talking about people, this group of girls going into the women's bathroom and like clogging up the entire fucking sewage system because they decided to flush their tampons and pads down the fucking drain. And to this day, I don't know who any of those young ladies are, but young ladies, if you're watching this video by chance and you're at the AMC Sunrise 8 in you know, Sunrise, Florida back in 2019 and you did that shit, just know I will never find you. I don't know where you live. I'm sorry. I do not know how to find you. Like, you thought I was gonna give you a threat of violence? I'll have you know I'm a very non-violent black man. Thank you very much. I'm actually one of the safest of black men. So no, I would never threaten some random woman that I have never seen ever again that gave me an unpleasant experience. That was a very weird tangent for me to go on. But yeah, when I was working at this AMC, there is at least 2 specific individuals that worked there that were a couple chromosomes too much. Yeah, you thought I was gonna say a couple chromies short. No, they had an excess of chromies. So I'm not gonna say any of their names, and I understand the nature of what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, you're making fun of the disabled or whatever, but like I'm gonna take a step back. No, the individuals that I'm talking about do not have Down syndrome. Yeah, I'll walk it back even further. I am not an ableist. You know, if you're unable to do certain tasks because of individual experiences that may or may not have been traumatic to you or at birth, you know, more power to you. Like if you're walking around, you know, that one guy from Baki with no body, if you're built like that, I hope they turn you into RoboCop or something. But for the sake of this video, I'm trying to be funny. So if you do have the ability to use your hands to take the stick out of your ass, respectfully, take that stick out your fucking ass. All right, thank you so much. But yeah, there was this one individual. He actually, so there are 2 guys. One guy, we'll call him Cade. Yeah, we'll just say Cade. No significance. You will never track him down. You don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. This guy named Cade, you know, on the surface, looking at him, like you would just think he's like one of those awkward guys, you know, probably really super into Space Marine. And now that I'm thinking about it, there was also a manager there was on that level where, not to be disrespectful, but if you put that manager and Queso right next to each other, respectfully, I think Queso would look like he was hitting the gym a little bit harder than that manager. Like, let's be honest, you know, them big boys, big beardy, bare, hairy men. I don't want to think about that right now. But yeah, he was on that level kind of, but he got a manager position. So I'm not gonna write him off as, oh, he's dumb, but like, you know, classic gamer, super boogie 2098 aura, that manager. That's as much as I'll talk about him. He was actually pretty cool. He actually really liked League of Legends. But yeah, Cade just looks like an unassuming nerdy guy who's socially awkward. The socially awkwardness, or the essence of socially awkwardness from him, is because he was a couple screws short. And I understand, once again, ADA, don't come for my ass. This is a YouTube video. I'm 24 years old talking shit on the internet. You know, it's not that fucking deep. Goddamn. But yeah, there would be instances where he would just go and have some very weird behaviors, but it was never threatening. The best way to describe him, and I understand for you psycho cunt, sorry, you psychology majors, you know, the people that study psychology in college and it's their entire personality, but the only job you're gonna get is probably HR. He would be someone that you describe with Asperger's, but not the high functioning type. Like he wasn't like he wasn't the type of person with Asperger's that you would throw a fucking Rubik's cube and he would throw it back to you very, very aggressively, but it would be solved. Like, no, not that level of Asperger's. More so like I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of the classifications, but like I know there's like different levels to autism. I would say this guy was like around level 2 because he did have a job. He wasn't like level 1. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it backwards, but I'm assuming level 1 is like non-verbal. You can't do anything whatsoever independently of yourself. And then level 3 is like, oh, high functioning Asperger's. That's what I'm thinking. It might be flipped the other way around, but I would say this guy was at level 2 where he could socialize, but he needed help. And this guy was also a germaphobe. So there was a day where I came into work and I'm like, oh, what happened to Cade? Like Cade was supposed to be here this shift, and he was like, oh yeah, we had to fire him. And I was like, you had to fire him? Why? And I'm low-key jumping around the store because this was more eye-catching or more ear-catching to say. They're like, yeah, we had to let him go, you know. Like there was instances there here and there of like him doing something that if you were literally anybody else you would have gotten fired, but because ADA laws or whatever the hell, those types of laws in place for people, and I'm not saying this to say like these types of people should not have jobs. Everyone should have equal opportunity to have a job, you know, as long as you can perform the abilities of the job without hindering the customers, which respectfully Cade never hindered the customers with his job because he was just an usher at the end of the day. Like his disability did not affect his job in the customer facing role. It did affect the employees, because there's been times where this motherfucker would just decide that he's tired. He'd just be like, you know what? I'm tired. It's like, nigga, we're all around the same age, 17, 18. We're all fucking tired too. Actually, I think he was like 19, 20 at the time. He was like one of the few people that weren't actively in high school working at this AMC. But it's like, bro, we're all tired. Like, there's no excuse. There's been multiple times they found this motherfucker just sleeping on top of bags of popcorn seeds. Like, you know, the popcorn seeds that you see, like the big sexy black dreadhead AMC worker back in 2019 pouring into the popcorn machine with all the grease on his face and like his big monstrous pecs just having popcorn kernels like fly off of it. Yeah, those popcorn seeds. Yeah, those popcorn seeds were the ones that he was just sleeping on, and he had like 2 or 3 moments where he did that and got written up for it because like they actually caught it on camera the other 2 times. I actually think it was more times, but what management saw was the time. Yeah, whatever. The incident or the inciting incident that actually led to him getting fired was we were doing a deep clean, and bro, I remember doing this deep clean the night before, but I guess we did it the night before, but there was more we had to do because of the health inspection. And when I tell you movie theaters, health inspections, respectfully, with my knowledge of what I saw working at that theater and other theaters, because I worked at like 3 separate movie theaters in my tenure as a, you know, movie loving, I want to work at the theater because I can get a free movie era of individual. With the knowledge that I've gained, movie theaters are fucking disgusting. Like 9 times out of 10, if you're not watching the motherfucker cooking your food, and I'm saying this is like the hot food section, not necessarily the popcorn, but you need to keep an eye on the motherfuckers too. This shit gets nasty. But yeah, we were cleaning and to clean up for the health inspector and shit. And apparently this motherfucker touched something that he thought was very nasty, but he was like, nigga, we're all wearing gloves, and even if you touch something, just wash your hands. No, this nigga was convinced he was going to die, and he was so dirty that he didn't strip down naked. But let's just say there's a picture online, not of him, but the meme of someone at like Burger King or something taking a shower or like taking a bath inside the sink. That motherfucker actually did that. And it was so surreal to actually hear about that happening, because that the meme at that time, that was a meme at that time. So it's like life imitates art. Now for the next the next person, I'm sorry, this guy was actually kind of fucking retarded. Like, you see, the in the case of Cade, he was just like, oh, he doesn't know any better, but he was like a grown man. This other person, he was like 27-year-old man with my 18. I'm 18. This was like when I was like a crew lead too. This he got okay, I'm gonna stop laughing. Whew. So 9-year age difference, whatever. 9-year age difference, fucking 40 points of IQ gap. Take that how you want to take it. This motherfucker, he got hired through one of the other people. I don't remember his name, but we'll call him Paul. Yeah, we'll call him Paul actually. So this guy Paul, yeah, we'll say it exactly like that, because I just realized I have a cousin named Paul, but we're not talking about him, so I'm gonna say Paul. So you see, this motherfucker Paul, right? I swear he probably worked like 4 shifts in total, and every single shift except for the last one where he got fired for whatever fucking reason, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was for the same exact reason for why I'm telling you the story. This dude, I don't know if he had like an oral fixation or if he had like, you know, fucking pica, that thing that cats can have where they just eat everything. But this dude, like, he was just so slow, and I'm just like, bro, this was around the time where like this AMC job, this was a job that I really wanted, and I applied there like over 15 times. Like, I actually had like 15 rejection emails that I screenshotted and flexed to show how dedicated I was to getting this job. And it's the fact that this motherfucker Paul was able to get this job through a recommendation of his cousin. But I had had like 2 to 3 friends get the job prior to me. Like, I was like, no, we're gonna infiltrate this place. I'm gonna apply, you're gonna apply, you're gonna apply. Any of us that gets the job, you gotta work there for like, I'm not even joking, this is exactly how I planned it out. Work there for a couple months, and then we're gonna use it as a reference. And that's how my other friend got the job. And then when I had 2 of them and they're doing a big hiring season for the summer, they recommended me and I got a job there. And then 6 months later, I got I'm too lazy for that. I might do it post editing, but I got employee of the year October 2019, or employee of the month, sorry, not employee of the year. Back then my people pleasing ass would have actually went for that. But yeah, 6 months later, blah blah blah, became crew lead. This guy, oh my god. So this guy got the job from doing absolutely nothing, just by knowing someone. And you know, this is where I would say, you know what, I fucking hate nepotism, but the new job I just got was literally a result of nepotism, like in every definition of the word. But I won't go into detail because I would like to keep this job. I'm keeping this private. But yeah, this nigga, one day we were cleaning up the, you know, the kitchen or whatever behind the hot foods back of house, whatever the fuck, I don't remember what it's called. And there was a piece of chicken tender, a fried crispy chicken tender, just on the floor, seasoned with 12 hours of walking in and out of movie theaters, covered with splashes of degreaser, you know, bleach, detergent, anything to clean the floors, some popcorn salt, maybe some extra dust that has been accumulated underneath the popcorn machine, all for the enjoyment of Paul. I stood there and I watched this grown 27-year-old man grab the fried chicken tender covered in all of these amazing, delectable seasonings I looked at this nigga and I was like, nigga, there's no fucking way you just ate that shit. And my other, because whenever we were working back then, you had like multiple crew leads on shift. The other crew lead that was closing with me was like, oh no, you can't do that, because she was a girl, obviously. Like in these scenarios, like I made a video talking about it before, but like this is a scenario where having a woman in a power position at a workplace actually comes in clutch, because I feel like any other grown ass man would have the same fucking reaction as me, to just go straight to like laughing at the absurdity of what it is first before leaping into action and quote unquote going into mom mode. But she was immediately like, oh no, you can't do that, no, and like took him to the back and made him spit it out and wash out his mouth. And I was just there like, you're 27, I'm 18, what the fuck are you doing, nigga? But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you like this, me telling you another story. Don't forget to like, comment down below. Tell me some of your stories from odd jobs that you might have had, or like different experiences with coworkers that were definitely a couple chromies too much to get hired. Okay, you know, I'm listening to it right now, and that was actually kind of fucked up. Yeah, peace.